You posted a picture with Jordan Peterson.
Correct.
And like one of my heroes. And then all of a sudden you get like a whole bunch of comments saying, I can't believe you would do this. But then you go to those comments. I think that shit's fake.
Yeah.
I think there are so many bots. There are people, there's probably 3 scumbags who just have an ability to pretend that they're 50 people.
Sure.
And it's all bullshit, man.
Well, it is. And that's exactly it though. Like I think it's important in society to be able to have conversations with people that might disagree with your viewpoint.
Yeah.
And that's like,
you know
when
why? Because it gets you to change your mind, or it gets you to kind of have to mount a defense and test the ground on which you're standing.
For sure.
That's the idea behind free speech.
Yeah. And I think that again, it's I hate the division, man. It's like if you look at the world, and I've heard this about ants.
Yeah.
Right. So if you were to put red ants and black ants in a jar, they would coexist just fine until you start shaking the jar.
Oh.
And then they attack each other.
Interesting.
Right. But if you look at the world, right, as the jar, you've got all these different ants that are living. They would be fine until you start shaking the jar. Right. And now it's like, well, I have to hate you or I have to dislike you, when naturally that wouldn't happen.
Interesting.
It wouldn't happen. And I think that's very true with people.
I think that's true with social media. I think that there are bad actors out there.
That's stirring the jar, because then you could chop it up however you want.
Right.
You know, I can post a picture with Jordan Peterson, who's, I think, an amazing individual.
Yep,
I think he's doing a lot of good for society and for our world right now. And
he's also articulating the things we feel, but we don't know how to describe verbally.
It was wonderful.
Right?
I mean, I got to sit down and have a great conversation with him, and it was wonderful, man. And I post this picture, and then those things come. But I also think that there's, maybe a lot of powers that be that disagree with some of the viewpoints that he has and what he's putting out, and he has a large audience that he's putting them out to, right? So naturally, me putting a picture of us together might add a little bit of fire to that for him or whatever. And so you have that negative opinion that comes with that, mainly directed at me, which I even said to you, I put the picture up. I didn't look at it because I was very busy, and I made the post, and then you come back later, and then it's this, going back and forth.
Anybody who has anybody who posts that, I don't even think they're real, but even if they're real, they're non-entities.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But even if, right, let's just say they are a real person, and they do exist, and they are posting that. Why am I not entitled to my opinion and putting a picture up of somebody?
Yeah.
Right.
Look, 100%.
Yeah.
But Henry Cejudo, gold medalist in the Olympics, a 2-division belt holder. Daniel Cormier, 2-time Olympian, 2-division belt holder. They get shit. People criticize them. They get people. I posted a video. I was like, you people. The fact that they get criticism, they get as fighters. They like and I'm like, well. First of all, the internet's not real if that's the case. Second of all, and this is why most people have no idea how hard it is to be them, to be you.
Sure.
It's so hard. Like, you're really big and strong, but to be able to compete for that long and win, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It takes all of you, and it takes all of you consistently. It's like, you can't fuck off. You fuck off, there's another dude right at your heels. Living that life for 20 years is what I always look at when I see that. Like, it takes all of you. It's just so hard to be a success. It just fucking is.
Yeah.
Because you're failing constantly.
Yeah. Well, the reality is that you're putting yourself out there, and failure is at every turn.
Every turn, right?
Yeah. And you that performance level needs to stay there. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I just don't think that a lot of, social media and clipping things up, you can really make somebody sound however you want to make them sound by clipping something up and putting it out there. And I think that that's really and truly what has happened a lot with Trump. And, I think that, he sometimes presents a different viewpoint that is logical, but maybe he doesn't have the best delivery, right? He doesn't deliver.
I think a lot of people like his policies. They don't like him.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he's abrasive. He can be abrasive as a person, right?
Yeah.
But
arrogant.
Again, like if you look at, somebody as a leader, would you rather have a leader that's a little bit abrasive and gets a job done, or somebody that never steps on anybody's toes and is doesn't do anything?
You know, somebody was talking about Biden. I was with these guys who were like high up dudes, like, you know, players in the game, right? Business and politics. This was last night. And power dinner, don't worry about it. And they were
Power dinner, okay.
Yeah, power dinner. I have power dinners, and
Got it.
a power fuck. I have power dinners. I do a lot of stuff, but like literally, like just like sometimes you're at a table and it's like everybody there flies privately, and you're like, you know, it's like there's $1 billion people, but they were talking about how Biden. The big secret is that they're his chief of staff. So Biden is, they say he's hijacked by the far left. Biden's always been fairly moderate as a legislator, and he hasn't passed anything. He'll say, yeah, I'm going to do that. But when it comes to actually passing laws, he doesn't do it. So he's good at that. But his chief of staff is the same way. And they were like talking about how his chief of staff is basically Republican, light, Democrat heavy, kind of in the middle. And they all know it, but really competent. And even though Biden is cognitively not there, he's just declining, they all know that. And the guy running the country is his chief of staff. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh shit, you know.
Well, I think that's very apparent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, man. But I think, you know, around the world, and I've been fortunate enough to throughout the years, right, like talk to different guys from different countries and get a viewpoint from outside of America on America.
Yeah,
right?
Man, that's interesting. Isn't it?
It's very interesting. A lot of people have not heard that. Right?
That's right.
And it's, you know, for the world to be in a good place, it very much helps when America has a leader that's strong and feared.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like you can't be a leader without having some element of fear,
respect
and fear, right? Like you have to be capable of doing what you say.
Yeah.
Right? And people need to know that. And I think
Trump was good at getting leaders like Kim Jong-un and Putin. He was good at getting them to think he might be unhinged enough to do something crazy.
Sure.
Like, you know, like there's something to that.
Yeah.
Like I'm crazy like a fox. Like I don't know karate, but I know crazy. That there's something about that.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you that Kim Jong-un was like, you know, this guy might just bring the heat.
Sure.
And so I'm gonna bring him to my, you know, that's how he deals, because that's the language he understands.
Yeah, but nothing happened in the world. But again, there's that.
Right. But the
essentially
the
a
Taliban
promise.
leader,
Yeah.
I'm going to get you. The promise is don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Right. Because that Taliban leader that he said he sent him a picture of his house. He goes, "It's your house. I know your house, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just as long as you understand that I have a picture of your house. I know who you are, and it's all good."
Sure. But there's the action, right? The action could come, and again, I think that's important, and you know, it's just like being a man that is incapable of any type of violence, right? Like now, are you really a man?
Right.
Right. Like I think any man should be capable of that if they need to be. If they need to be protective, if they need to be assertive, they need to be able to execute that.
That's why I work on my low kicks.
What's that?
That's why I work on my low kicks.
Yeah, you need to work.
Because that area, see that area?
Yeah.
That's a whole country of possibilities.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean,
saying
even though, like, here's the thing, I got you. Even though you're tiny and petite and
don't
all
say
that,
tiny and petite.
I'm a
medium-sized man.
What I will say is you're capable of something.
Yeah, I'm a medium-sized man.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Okay, I mean, medium maybe.
My back is pretty wide, honestly.
What size shirt is that?
So this is a medium, but I'm going to be honest with you. Medium. There are a lot of shirts that when they're medium.
Do you know what size I graduated out of a medium shirt, or what age I should say? I got out of a medium.
I'd like to know, actually.
Yeah, I probably was in like first grade.
Wow.
Maybe second. I don't know. It's pretty. Like, it was crazy.
Well, you were on a farm and probably sucking cows the whole time.
Was I?
You probably grabbed a cow and sucked his udder. I didn't have access to fucking cows.
Maybe you should have.
I didn't have access to that, okay?
Well, you should have created
So when you weren't
access.
baling hay, somebody stuck an udder in your mouth, and that's why you're a giant.
Well, it worked.